feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two.
Takes one hit of the wrong button. Next thing you know, your whole show's kind of going everywhere. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. But hey, this is a live show. I'm Bullhorn Betty. We're covering the case of Nancy Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie is an 84-year-old grandmother that disappeared from her home in the middle of the night, ripped from her bed by masked gunmen. I think at this point, we need to be using men, because that's what it feels like. It feels like multiple people were involved in this. We didn't have a whole lot to fill that cup up, but over the last little bit, it seems like that's starting to take center stage. We're starting to realize it's most likely a walkie-talkie in the man's pocket, and that there may have been somebody on the other side of the door. Now, when it comes to the glove, there was gloves found all over, about 16 to be exact, and there was a couple more down the road that other people had seen during their search, and there was something to do with getting that glove picked up. So we're not going to take too much time this evening. This is kind of an impromptu show. It's kind of at a weird time in the evening, but I figured we needed to talk about this because there is some things coming up with the gloves. We know not all the gloves even look like the gloves that were, or the glove that was observed on the video the FBI released at the front door. But I'm starting to get some information. I think it was Lisa B. Always sent me some information about the glove, that this is not just a normal, or may not be just a normal nitrile glove. We did kind of think the hands were thick, you know. Now I'm starting to believe that maybe they had a non-rip, non-tear, thick nitrile glove on. So we're going to get to that here in just a little bit. But before we do, we're going to take this back just a little bit. We've got a couple little tidbits of information to go over before we dive into the crux of our case, which is the Nancy Guthrie case. And we're going to be focusing more on the black glove this evening. Melanie, it's nice to see you. ER Blues. Downey, good evening. Mama, the real me too. Cynthia, it's nice to see you. Good evening. Good evening. Meow, it's nice to see you, love. I hope you are doing well. Denise, good evening. It's nice to see you. I Spy. Benjamin, it's nice to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Tammy, Pebbles, it's nice to see you. Our beautiful Smiley Stories world is up in the chat. It's nice to see you, Love Bug. Momo, Groovy Gal, good evening. Deanna, Plant Lady, Tammy, it's nice to see you. Robin, Kathleen, Carol, good evening. It's nice to see. I hope everybody is doing well. Let Them 66, it's nice to see you. Terry Parker, Handsome Man is up in the chat. Let Them 66JH, it's nice to see you. Peggy, Nanny, it's nice to see you. Terry, Busy Mama, it's nice to see you. Randa, Sandy, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. I think I got you guys all up there. Let me come on to Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches. It's nice to see you. Alicia, hello, my love. Frank it up. It's nice to see you. I hope you guys are doing well. Jenny, Joe Mama, JM, it's nice to see you. Cody, hello, hello, hello. Stacks, Betty fan, it's nice to see you all this evening. If you're wondering why I'm glowing on one side and not the other, it's because the sun is setting and I can't control it. I've tried to cover the window up. The only thing I can do is probably put a blackout on the outside of the window, and I'm not doing all that, okay? I love you guys, but you guys gotta get, every now and again we just gotta deal with, lighting issues. So if you're wondering why one side of my face looks like I'm glowing, I am not an angel. I am not an angel, okay? There is a disclaimer on this. I'm a butthead. Okay, yeah. I was so light on this side, I turned one of the camera lights off, because, it's pretty bright on this side. I'm like, why do I look so funny on this side? So I turned the light off. I'm like, yeah, it's a little better. I was so white. I was bleached on one side, so I turned off some of the lights. Tori, it's nice to see you. Adrian, hello, my love. Stacks, it's nice to see you. Did I say hi to you, Erica, Nanny? It's nice to see you, everyone. I hope you're doing well. So we're going to just jump ship just a little bit. We're going to talk about Sumner County, and this is the county that Sebastian Rogers disappeared in. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of Sumner County. I think Sumner County is by far one of the most corrupt counties in Tennessee. I have been fighting with the government there. I've been fighting with their law enforcement there. I've been fighting with their judges there, and I'm appealing a case in that very area. So it's very interesting because we've been up the crawl of Sumner County for a while, and I've got to say that there has been a charge led by At Night Creative Intelligence, and many of you guys may not know it unless you have been following them, but Nick the Hat has been exposing some of these deep-seated dark secrets of the school, of these teachers that are SAing children. And it is an alarming number there. But again, we've been having problems with the state of Tennessee just protecting their children from being homicide victims of the parents and then never prosecuting the parents, or the children becoming punching bags or, play toys, so to speak, of a parent or two. And they just seem to, it just seems just fine. Anything goes in Tennessee. Once upon a time, it was all about Las Vegas. What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? Well, not so quickly. Now it's Tennessee. What's on in Tennessee stays in Tennessee, and nobody will even know about it. Not even the public, right? They sweep everything under the rugs. And if it's children, your only job is to hide the child's body good enough, and you do not have to worry about the swift justice of Tennessee, because just like everything, nothing's swift in Tennessee unless you are an innocent person. Yes, when you are an innocent person, well, then you get arrested and go to jail. But if you're not innocent, and you're a criminal, well, they want to keep you on the streets as long as possible, especially hitting children. They love child abuse. The state of Tennessee is just so, they love child abuse. They make sure that they try to protect child abuse of all kinds. Unless you're 4 years old. If you're 4 years old and you do bad things to that child, like toy type things with that child, that disgusting stuff, well, then you might get the heavy fist of justice. But if they're 5, well, all that's out the window, right? Because a child 5 years old or up should, whatever. So you guys know how I feel about Sumner County. Well, here's yet another teacher being arrested. The other ones weren't arrested. And I honestly believe that this one would have went without arrest if it wasn't for Nick the Hat kicking up such a fuss about the essay of, several teachers and administrators across several different schools. And I never ran with the story. Nick was running with the story, but I know I've had conversations with him about this problem in the Sumner County School Board, in the school system. And if you don't believe me, go check out his X account. So here you go. Sumner County, one of our audience members, I think it was Baby Love. Thank you, Baby Love. Sent this over to us to make sure that we had it, because we've been talking about this stuff for quite some time. And again, does it really surprise us? No. This is Sumner County. Welcome to Sumner County. This is the county that I am truly taking on. I want to make sure that this Sheriff Eric Craddock. It does sound like Chris Proudfoot, doesn't it? Sorry, Sheriff Chris Proudfoot. That sounds about right. He's got to go. He's in the pocket. He's young. He's green. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. This is not on the job training. We need a real sheriff. We need somebody with balls and backbones, and he ain't got it. Okay. He ain't got it. Anybody that says, rape is, and thinks that it's funny, not ever caring that he's an officer of the law, that people truly are hurt and injured. And he has some, rape's such a strong word. I like struggle. That is so disrespectful as a sheriff. So disrespectful to all of the rape victims and sexual assault victims in his community. So disrespectful. So there you go. Another incident with a teacher at a school. Not really surprising. And then, of course, we have another situation here. And this is where, the sheriff finally put his foot down. They had another judge that wanted to put a criminal out on the street to hurt us. I'm sick of these activist judges, okay? I don't care where they come from. They got to go somewhere. We're the true crime community. We can't have this, okay? I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. We cannot have judges throwing criminals back out on the street to prey upon our families. It is just unacceptable. It's unacceptable to any human being living in the United States, let's be honest. So finally, a sheriff has said, no, hell to the nah, we're not doing this. I am not throwing this animal back on the street. So he might lose his job. He might even get arrested for willfully violating a judge's orders. The judge has ordered him to release this animal. And he said, nope, he's too dangerous. So it's like, this is what I'm talking about. When I talk about real policing, this is what I'm talking about. I want sheriffs doing. And it's standing up for the community and frickin' protecting the community, which is what their job is. And sometimes you have to protect the community from the own government. And this sheriff should not be fired. He should not be arrested. He should be applauded. People in his community should be standing up and having his back. We're tired of this. You know what? It's okay. It's hunky-dory to be doing this until it's your child, until it's your grandparent, right? Until it's your Nancy Guthrie. Until it's your Sebastian Rogers, your Summer Wells. Then it's funny how you just don't like it no more. Ah, thank you, Miss Veronica. We appreciate ya. Thank you. Critical hit. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we do. Oh, I'm gonna stop. good gracious. All right. Let's go. Let's do this, because you guys need to hear this. Your minds are going to be blown. But I got to say, I applaud the sheriff, folks. I really stinking applaud this sheriff. Hate me, love me, I don't care. But this sheriff, he gets a standing ovation from the Bullhorn Betty channel. I'm sorry. Not sorry.
The 8 News Now investigators learning this 36th arrest involves 27 new charges, and it happened just days after we first brought you this clash between police and a judge amid a debate about bail and just who can get out of jail.
I don't know how else to bring this to the public's attention and the judge's attention, that I cannot effectively supervise these people when they ask me to put them out on electronic monitoring.
Clark County Sheriff Kevin McMahill speaking for the first time publicly Wednesday about 36-year-old Joshua Sanchez Lopez, right after the 8 News Now investigators learned of Sanchez Lopez's 36th arrest. Sanchez Lopez, the man at the center of a debate between Metro Police and several judges after one judge ordered Sanchez Lopez released from jail with an ankle bracelet. Metro declined, saying he was just too dangerous.
Today is not the day.
Las Vegas Justice Court Judge Eric Goodman ordered the release.
This man should be fired on his ass, and whoever puts this man back in that judge's seat, y'all are fired too. We need to start firing some damn citizens around here. I'm just saying. We're tired of this. Okay? The American people have had it.
Saying defying that order could result in sanctions for contempt.
Again, here we are, back in custody, multiple charges, same individual again.
In this 36th arrest, the sheriff says officers took Sanchez Lopez into custody Wednesday morning, finding him with a shaved mail key, fraudulent IDs and credit cards, and meth. McMahill says Sanchez Lopez will also face child abuse charges for the 8 children officers found in an apartment.
This is not effective management of people that are awaiting trial on a number of cases that they have before these magistrates.
I believe that the law is very clear and that Metro made the right decision from a legal standpoint.
David Roger is the former Clark County District Attorney. He says Nevada law is clear. It allows a sheriff to make these decisions.
If the courts feel like they should have discretion to tell a sheriff to supervise someone on house arrest, then go to the legislature and have the lawmakers change the law. There are other options.
Another option, in the one handed to Sanchez Lopez before Wednesday's arrest, the court's pretrial release program, which includes some form of monitoring. This latest arrest, the latest twist in continuing arguments about bail.
Yes, everybody's entitled to a bail, but it's not entitled to a bail so low that they can get out on every charge that they make. People have to be held to account, and I'm tired of it.
Thank God. Thank God. If sheriff ain't talking like that all around this country, well, by God, something's got to give, folks. I'm tired of it. I don't know about you. I'm tired of it. I am certainly tired of it. Let me go ahead and share this here. Let me get this up. Hold on. I forgot to add this to our show. Oops, did I? Oh, shit. Oh, damn it. Sorry. My phone just fell.
For instance, if there's any kind of tools,
any
bits of wood that may have been associated with something that was involved.
Okay. All right. I think we got it. Let's do. We saw something. We saw something that was like crazy. I said, send it to me. And it starts popping all over the damn place. It starts popping all over the place. Okay. So let's get back to the recall. We have a recall. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to get to on this. I might be able to get to this here in just a little bit. I might not. But let's get to the crux of this case because I don't have a whole lot of time. I'm running out of time on what I have to go over here. So this is really the crux of this story. These are nitrile gloves. They're rip-resistant industrial gloves. They're thicker. This is what Lisa B. Always sent to me. Oh, Melanie, thank you. I just saw that. Did I miss you? Did I miss you? I miss everybody. I'm so sorry. See, it's not just you, Miss Lisa B. Always. I'm starting to miss everybody. That's so bad. That's so bad. It says, I hope everyone has a good night. Much love to everyone and continued prayers for the E's. Thank you for all keeping the E's in your family, or in their family in your prayers. My heart's just been hurting a lot here lately about everything, about everyone. Aw, Veronica gifted a Bullhorn Buddy membership because I'm a love machine. Ow! And Jude Helmsworth, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club. I.e. the insanest I love. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room and welcome aboard, folks. Welcome aboard. It's nice to see you. Come on in. We got some information. We're going to be talking about this glove. This glove is hot topic. Because remember that the statements they kept saying about there's this one glove that really looks like the perpetrator's glove, and we're thinking, well, damn, it's a dime a dozen. Those nitrile gloves are a dime a dozen. The standard nitrile gloves are a dime a dozen. These nitrile gloves, on the other hand, are expensive gloves, okay? Typically, I can go to Harbor Freight and get some medium nitrile gloves when they're on sale for $5.99 or $6.99 for $100. Okay? They're not rip resistant, okay? You put your finger through them, you wear, I have to wear, when I'm working on the car, I don't work on the car anymore. Yes, I used to work on my car, okay? And you know what, and I probably would. I'm too poor sometimes to take it to the mechanic to get shit fixed. So, got to learn how to do stuff yourself. If you haven't learned how to do stuff yourself, it's time for you to watch some YouTubes. Right? It's time for you. But this rip-resistant ones, they're big. They're thick. Remember how we thought he was wearing 2 sets of gloves? Folks, I think he was wearing these extra thick gloves. Because if you really look, let me see if I can get it up. I'm pretty sure I got it up. Oh, now that's the tattoo. That's the tattoo. We're getting in the tattoo. I don't want to do that yet. Hold on. Let me back this up. Oh, thank you from my prayer warriors. They're coming in. Look at that. Happy Friday. I hope everyone had a great Friday. Much love to everyone sending prayers to the That's right, TGIF, folks. For those that are getting off of work or just got off work, you guys survived another week of work. Congratulations. I know for some of you, you got your kids home. It is spring break and you survived a week with kids. So to all the mommies and daddies in the chat, way to go, guys. Okay, your children, nor did you, showed up on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So you guys survived. You guys survived. Give yourself a round of applause. First week down. Mine are expensive. I bet. But you survived. Or surviving, depending on when your kids go back. You're surviving, right? Just remember, you survived your worst day so far, right? You've survived your worst day so far. And you can't kill the kids, okay? You can give them a boot in the ass, but you can't kill them. Just remember that. Is that appropriate on a true crime show? I don't know if that's appropriate. I think I went over the line. I need to shut up. Oh, you guys are great. But I do think, let's go ahead and find, let me pull this back just a little bit. Let's go ahead and find the photo of the glove, the assailant. We'll get the glove. Okay. Glove. Hand. Nancy Guthrie. There it is. Damn, I'm good. I'm good in the neighborhood. All right. I don't want to do all that. Let's go back one. Let's save it and then put it up. There we go. Give me a second, folks. It will just take me just a little more moments. And Da, 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 da. Okay, there you are. I knew you were there. I knew you were there. All right. So, look at that, baby. Look how thick the glove is. Remember, we kept thinking this dude was wearing multiple sets of gloves. Then we're like, oh no, he just has fat hands, right? He just has fat hands. I believe he's wearing these thick gloves, these thick phantom or venom or blah 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 venom steel, rip resistant industrial gloves, heavy duty 2-layer protection, venom steel latex gloves. And it kind of helps, when you look at the picture of him, you can see the ripples. The ripples in this glove are pretty thick ripples. Now, you're looking at his hand, and I'm sorry, this hand does look swollen. This right hand looks so swollen. The other hand down here does not look as swollen. This looks swollen. Okay? And if we're looking at this hand and it's swollen, I'm sorry, the only person that we've seen so far that has a swollen hand, a swollen right hand, is Luke Daly. But look at these gloves down here. These do not look like your traditional, can't even speak, your traditional, thick or nitrile glove. Even the black nitrile glove, I mean, you can get it up to like 7 millimeters, but this is 2 layers. So you're looking at like maybe a 10 millimeter or thicker glove here. You're talking about a thick glove, and you can kind of see the ripples in it. It looks like a thicker glove. It doesn't look like the cheap latex gloves you see, but look how curved this is. This looks like really smooth right here. You don't even really see the defined knuckles. It's only right here when you kind of see a little bit of the defined knuckles, but even on these defined knuckles here, they still look swollen. Good Lord, Mike. Go take a cold shower. I saw some of the comments from earlier too. Go take a cold shower. So anyways, and then you see the tattooing right here, and that's getting us into the next tidbit of conversation. And our next tidbit of conversation is this. Now, I was watching a live earlier today. There were some people on this live talking about this tattoo came up. And of course, many people turning it can see different things. Like, for example, right here, it looks like this is a hat, somebody's hat right here, maybe a baseball cap, or maybe one of those old, military scene caps. But I don't know if it's that. And it's one of those things when you turn it, it could mean something else because you're just looking at such a small little thing. And so I took a picture of this, and this is from Tattletale Tattoo. And Tattletale Tattoo says, I'm a tattoo artist and I've done many of them. It's so clear to me that it's a scorpion tail, a potential scorpion tail. I think we're getting some everybody was kung fu fighting. As long as you had a cold shower, Mike, you can kung fu fight all the way to the shower and back, okay? I'm just saying. Those gloves are thick. They remind me of those yellow ones Grandma used to... Yes. The dish gloves. I've got a pair of yellow ones under my sink right now, right? I even have a pair of pink ones in the bathroom. I got pink ones in the bathroom, yellow ones for the kitchen. So... Yeah. So we're getting through this pretty quickly, but the gloves, I think we need to pay attention to the gloves. I think we need to pay attention to that tattoo. Is it possible that tattoo isn't a guy with a hat, but rather a tail of a scorpion? And it's the shading, and it's just peeking out ever so. Which gang uses scorpions? So let's find out. That's a great question. Okay, let's do in the U.S. Scorpion tattoos in the U.S. are primarily associated with Hispanic gangs, particularly those tied to Mexico, often representing the Mexican Mafia, La M. Never heard of them before. Or General Mi Vida Loco, My Crazy Lifestyle. While not exclusive to one group, the scorpion is sometimes used by Mexican-American street gangs and occasionally in the context of drug trafficking organization. Yeah, red scorpions are from Canada. Is somebody in here? First of all, if anybody's in here, I don't know who is in here. We're not getting involved in any. We're not getting involved in any. Oh, the sun's starting to go down. Let me go ahead and turn my light on. Any drama. The drama. This is not the place. This is here. We're true crime. We're not drama. We're not a drama channel. We're not getting involved in the drama. We're not talking bad about other creators. At the end of the day, I've got nothing to say. I got nothing. Don't be bringing somebody else's bullshit into my house. Okay? You guys want to bring that bullshit? Go. Who cares? Okay? You guys take that shit somewhere else. My statement's very simple. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes, and that's said blanketly across the entire situation here. So I'm done. I tap out. I want nothing to do with that problem. I don't want it in my chat. I don't want shit to do with it. Okay? Not my circus, not my monkeys. Okay? And I will tell you, if that keeps getting violated in this chat, we will start blocking people. Okay? And when you are on my block list, you don't come off my block list. You have to create a new account, and it's getting harder and harder to create accounts on here. So just put that little food for thought. Okay? But that's where we are. So this is about a Hispanic Mexican street gang. Often use it for association with Mexican culture or a symbol of toughness, sometimes linked to but not limited to the Mexican Mafia. Mi Vida Loca, similar to 3 dots. A scorpion could be a generic tattoo representing the gang lifestyle itself. Red Scorpions, while primarily a Canadian gang, the Red Scorpions have used scorpion tattoos on wrists or necks to identify members. Well, you know. So, thank you, Stax. I don't have the, it's up, the whole situation. It doesn't need to be brought into the chat room. We're here on Nancy Guthrie. I don't know, we got a grandmother that's missing from, I don't have time for people's bullshit, and if we have so much time to be talking about don't we have children that we need to be looking for? I mean, we don't have time for drama on the true crime community, okay? We don't have time for any of this bullshit. We need to keep our head focused and keep ourselves in the game. We have an 84-year-old grandmother that's missing. We've got Summer Wells that's been missing for years. We got Sebastian Rogers that's still out there missing. None of these people are getting any type of searches. And the one that is getting searches is an 84-year-old grandma, and she's getting probably the best searching we've got. So we want to support at least something going right. So that's just where we're going to be. I say tattoo removal on the hands can leave swelling and could, but we've looked at that, Turquoise, and that's not going to be possible. It takes a long time. I actually looked down that avenue of tattoo removal, and it's not easy. Even tattoos, like the tattoo you're seeing, for it to be totally gone, which they said if it's black ink, they can pretty much get it completely gone, as if you've never, and they showed me, not showed me, he showed us. I think it was Megan Kelly had him on, or maybe it was either Megan Kelly or Ashley Banfield. And they showed, I think it was one of them too. I don't think it was Nancy Grace. And he showed the neck where he actually had a tattoo, and it was amazing what they can do with tattoo removal. But apparently the black tattooing, the ink is the easiest to get rid of on your skin. The other colors, I don't know how that works, but that's what they said. And it's amazing but it takes a year. Nothing is overnight. It's not like the tattoo, you get to go to a tattoo shop, you go in there, you pay the money, you walk out, you got your tattoo, okay? When you go to remove that tattoo, it's not that easy. You walk into the removal and you got to go in for several treatments to get it fully off your skin. So each time they take like a layer or two of your skin away with the scanner, the thing, because it's not supposed to be. Now granted, I will tell you this, if your tattoo, which I've seen a lot of terrible tattoos where they've caused scarring on the skin, and so when they go to remove that tattoo, that scarring's going to stay there. You're never getting rid of that scarring for a tattoo artist going too deep in your skin. I was very thankful, they've got such new technology out now they just have these little tips. It's like a Dremel, the Dremel machine. Well, now tattoo artists, if they can afford it, have a Dremel type machine, and they don't even have to worry about needles anymore. They just twist heads on there. So you have like a single tip head, a 3, a 5, an 8, and they can really do some amazing stuff. And it's already so it doesn't scar you. Like you can't scar somebody with this new product. It's pretty interesting. He ain't removed the tattoo. It takes forever. It does take forever. So no, I'm not, Jared. I don't want it in my chat, and we're going to have to start removing those. So you can remove your comment, or I can. And if I have to, I will start blocking the initials. I don't want to have to do that. Just keep all that bullshit out of my chat. I don't want anything to do with it. I'd really appreciate it, okay? I mean, I can't force you guys, but all I can do is remove your comments, and if it get too aggravating, block you. But I don't want to have to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we're all adults here. It's not something I want to talk about. It has nothing to do with what we're here for. So please just respect that one request, okay? If you want to be a jerk, I guess you can be a jerk, but why? So that's what we have for the tattoo. But hey, it's possible, a scorpion tattoo. So we feel like this is a Hispanic person. I mean, we do have some renderings of this individual. It does look like a Hispanic person, no matter how you look at this. But there's some bombshell stuff that Nancy Grace released tonight. So I almost want to take you to the beginning, but yeah, let's take you to the, I think it's for, let me just take you to the beginning, and then we'll skip Savannah.
Or about the process that Nanos and the FBI is employing to get a DNA match. Is it possible? Also,
we're not going to be talking about the DNA stuff. We will talk about that sometime tomorrow, but I'm not even sure if I'm going to use it for my first show talking point. But that's not what we're here. Hey, Common Sense, it's nice to see you, love.
Tonight, careful analysis of blood on Nancy Guthrie's porch is telling us a very different story. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is
Crime Stories Online.
Now for footage of,
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get past to where I'm at. It's this guy right here. This is where I want to talk to.
question work crews on a construction site, one in particular, and maybe more in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood. We now know that dump sites used by construction crews are being searched.
Okay, this is the major news that is just breaking this evening. Okay, I know we're here to talk about the glove. I've said everything I want to say about the glove. Is that this rip-resistant glove? Yeah, I believe it is. But this right here is more bombshell information. Why? Because all of the sudden, we're starting to hear about construction workers. We're starting to hear about possibility of employees of, repair companies staying potentially at a house. We're getting mixed messages about this rental with people that disappeared shortly after Nancy Guthrie disappeared, really raising some eyebrows that Nancy brought up, I think, yesterday or the day before. And now she's bringing up this whole thing with the construction workers. We started learning about the construction workers and the possibility of them being responsible or being looked at, because something happened to her. This looks like more than two people. It appears that there was a walkie-talkie. Everything that we've seen so far on the people, except the gun and the gun holster, is attributed to some type of construction-themed work, whether it's putting in internet lines, power lines, phone lines, doing electrical work in a house, being a construction, working. But whatever it is, it seems like they have a 9 to 5, because the only time we have any bizarre incidences where they are seen or observed, or questions being asked for them being around the neighborhood, it's a weekend. It's not during the week. So it seems like they would have their eyeballs on this area. They're being able to navigate this area. This area is a freaking maze. And these people are navigating it in pitch black conditions. So it's telling me it's somebody that's very ultra familiar with that community. So could this be one of those construction workers? When did they start getting in that neighborhood? Now we're seeing these thick nitrile gloves, which are very common in the construction field. That light in his mouth, very common in the construction field. So we got gloves, the light, we got the backpack. You know, the moving about. He looks like he's got the body type for construction or trade work. But it's the panel, it's the utility panel. That panel there really, you know, it's really starting to trade it for me. Electrician, you know, telephone company, fiber optic company, somebody that has an understanding of these lines and knowing that that's there. Not every type of business will be very astute to that or think about that utility box, because they're not involved with utility boxes. So your plumbers, your drywall people, your painters, they're typically not you know, in utility boxes at all, or have an understanding of what cords go where, and or even put it as top of mind. I don't see that being top of mind in those construction fields. But electrician, phone company, fiber optics, other internet type of equipment, those are the people that would have top of mind with the electrical box, the utility box, those things. But I don't think it's an electrician, because I feel like if an electrician really wanted to do damage, they would have pulled the electrical box totally. You know, somebody in an electrical field, like if I was doing this, if this was a hit or something and I was going in there, I have very, very good knowledge of the electrical trade, okay? And I'll leave it at that. Very good knowledge of the electrical trade. I know how to do every single thing related to electrical except balance a panel box. That's the one thing my dad would never let me touch. So as far as blueprint, as far as running wires, as far as zoning out the electrical and stuff like that, I have a good understanding of that, and I can pretty much wire just about everything. I just don't balance. I never did the panel box. My dad would never let me touch the panel box. So with that being said, it just makes me wonder why they didn't go after the main power versus the cable. You see, the internet. So it makes me feel like they're more affiliated with the internet, and that where those things are. It's just different. It's interesting to me. It's interesting to me. Who are these people behind the masks? But another tidbit of information did come out that they believe that there was an assailant already in the house. That's why the guy on the outside was nonchalant. That's why he was out there. He was trying to get the camera off so they could carry her out of the front door. I think this was a homicide. I think their intent was to go in and to kill her. So the question in my mind, for me, at least that's one of my main theories. I do have a lot of different theories, but that's my main theory, and I've had that kind of for a while. And I'm waiting for information, that helps support that a little bit, to pull that off of the shelf. And I think what does support that a little bit is the fact that they were around the house for 41 minutes. There was multiple people. Nothing was stolen. If they had already killed her, why didn't they go through the house and go ahead and get paid while they're at it? You know, why just take her out instead of going and getting all the valuables out of the house as they left. I mean, the damage was already done at that point, right? She would have already been dead or hurt. So why didn't they just go in there and get paid? You know, that's what I don't understand. So I feel like because she was attacked in her bed, because there's drips, and because his backpack was full when he got there, I believe that was some type of plastic wrap or tarp to get her out. I think that the dripping throughout the house is whatever's leaking out of whatever they've got her wrapped in. That's just really my hardened theory about this. So who would have done that? And why would just some Joe Blows that are doing construction around the area want to do this to this lady? So it just, and some people are saying she's not dead. Nina says she's not dead, which, you know, I hope she's not. But I've been doing this so long that I just don't have hope in humanity. I really don't. Because people out there are freaking animals. They're hyenas. And that's why I say, you know, I'm so DP. Like, I don't want to take care of these animals the rest of their life. I don't. I want them snuffed out. I want them out of this world. I don't want them ever being able to have an opportunity to hurt another human being ever again. You know, it's just my opinion, just how I feel. So now we know that they're starting to look at construction sites, guys. They're actually looking where they're dumping. They're already talking about the landfill, folks. This is bombshell information. This is truly breaking news right now.
What do you know? What can you tell me?
We know that the investigation has really gotten into these construction sites, Nancy, to identify all personnel, including daily contractors who have come in. They're trying to identify not just people, but you mentioned the trash. They're trying to determine where trash is being taken. Where are the dump sites for these individual homes that are being under construction?
Yep.
Is there one place in particular that it's being taken, or are there multiple? They're identifying places that they can look into dump sites from the construction sites.
Was it construction workers that preyed on her? Something went terribly wrong and they had to finally figure out what to do with her, and they dumped her in one of those dumpsters and covered her up with debris, you know? I'm afraid she died before she left the house. There's a lot of just blood just dripping out. She didn't, it did not sound, but everybody keeps saying that spray, remember that one that I said looks pretty violent because that's a spray. A lot of people are thinking that that's a sneeze or a cough of some sort. And I'm hoping that is, but I think it's aspiration. I think it's final breath. I think it's something like that. But that's just my opinion. You know, I'm not an expert in the field. I'm just an average Joe that looks at it from an average Joe lens and make what I can. Some people are saying, you know, I thought, didn't they take the bedspread? We've never had, people have theorized that something like a bedspread is missing, but I don't think anybody has confirmed anything. I know Nanos hasn't spoke not one iota about a damn thing related to what was taken out of that house. And when we're talking about the entry point, where did they come in? I mean, he refuses to say whether there's forced entry or not. But when he was talking about just recently, when he had that interview where he said that this person could strike again, that one, he started implying that please don't leave your sliding glass doors open, even to get cool breezes at night, to secure them. And that's the first time I think we may, again, I say may strongly, may have an insight into how this person or persons were able to enter Miss Nancy's home. It sounds like maybe she had her sliding glass door open because her backyard was secure. Her backyard was locked up. It was completely fenced in. You know, nobody would cross it. And again, she felt so comfortable and safe in her home because she's lived there for decades. And she's probably left her window or her sliding glass door open probably more times than you could think of over the 30 years. Probably thousands of times over 30 years she's left that sliding glass door open to get a breeze. And never had a problem. So it sounds like that, even though he didn't come out and say it, it sounds like that could be implied. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like that could be at least implied when it comes to what may have happened to Miss Guthrie.
Okay, that is a very, very difficult task. I have worked on dump site searches. You have to break it down into grid searches. It's really, really hard to do. With me, Professor of Forensics, Jacksonville State University, Joseph Scott Morgan, author of Blood Beneath My Feet on Amazon and star of a hit podcast, Body Bags with Joseph Scott Morgan. But more important, death investigator with over 10,000 death inquiries under his belt. A dump site, grid search. I'm not saying we're looking for Nancy Guthrie's body. That's not what I'm saying. I think they're looking for something else.
What type of evidence are they looking for? Could they be looking for the doorbell camera? Could they be looking for the doorbell camera? I mean, they've got some stuff that they've got to be looking at here, folks. Right? What do you think? Let's take just a few moments. We got 312 people here. Now, not all of you guys can type into my chat, because if you are not a subscriber, you're not going to be able to communicate. But for those that can communicate in chat, let me know. What do you think they would be looking for? What type of evidence? Let's not say we're looking for Nancy in the garbage, okay? Let's talk about what items do you think that they could be looking about in the garbage? Oh, that's a great idea, Mike. If anybody knows how to, I hear we have several people out there doing searches. This is a great lead for them to start working on. Going out there, door knocking, talking to people, generating leads, turning those things into law enforcement. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. The SUV or Honda picked her up at the door. If you look at the man hiding Cam, he was using hands saying, wait, hid Cam. They brought her out through the sliding doors. I think she came out the front door. I don't think she went out the sliding door. There's entirely too much blood out that front door for her not to have gone out it, because that's her blood dripping. And we didn't hear any pass going out the back. We just know that whoever came in. It feels like the back side. I think a burner phone. Ooh, a burner phone. So we got the camera, a burner phone. Thank you, Downey. Walkie-talkie or doorbell. Mike, thank you. The walkie-talkies, we can't forget. A phone. Somebody said a phone. Blanket sheets, bloody towels, clothing. Houston, thank you for that. So we could be looking for the clothing, the shoes, the backpack, the camera. Now, would they, going to that construction site, I wonder if they would have, they probably didn't turn their phones off. I bet you we're going to find those phones on during their I'm praying to God they were stupid enough to leave their phones on during the casing. If they left their phones on, gloves, bag, camera, good. Mask, we forgot about their tools used, their clothing, accessories, mask, yep. So we're starting to get to the mask. Gloves, clothes, camera, wires, jacket. Forgot about the jacket. Yeah, but I guess that could fall under the clothes. The flashlight, tools, gloves. Thank you, guys. And it could even be her bloody clothes, right? God knows what they've done with her. But if they work for a construction site, they did find women's clothes, yes. We don't even know what she left the house. Like, we have no information on this poor lady. She was treated so poorly. Her whole poor little investigation was just so up, you know? It was just so messed up. They messed this poor lady's entire investigation up, it feels like. I feel so bad for her. They didn't search for her. They didn't give this lady a chance. You know, it's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. And everything I'm hearing them do now just seems like it should have been done weeks ago. Just weeks ago. It's unnerving, it's aggravating, it's upsetting. It's all these words combined into one. It really is. And I can't. So there's only a few more bombshells that I'm going to get to in this reporting because this was just dropped, an hour or so ago. So I would like you guys to go to Nancy Grace. I'm not playing the whole thing. I'm just playing a few moments of this under fair use, but she did just drop it. I recommend everybody. Oh, SIM cards. We didn't even think about SIM cards. That's good SIM cards, folks.
How do you go about a grid search if they are looking at construction crew dump sites?
Okay, understand this. When you're talking about searching any kind of landfill, all right, and it all works on the same principle, whether it's household debris or whether it is construction.
Yeah, Robin.
People just don't go in there and randomly dump stuff. They do have the thing broken up into grids. And Nancy, here's something else. And this is always a clue that we look for when we're searching these kinds of locations. Did you know that those grids have specific dates? Like when these things would have been picked up, where they were deposited, because you cannot continue to deposit things in the same location over and over again.
So I've always talked about this, and maybe if you've been around my channel long enough, you would recognize it, and you probably heard me talk about it. Some of the best logistics you will find in this country is these land. God, why can't I say it? My brain is starting to short circuit on me. These garbage places, the landfill. Good gracious. Blech. The landfill. They have some of the best logistics, and I really, really do believe that. I learned that a long time ago when I was watching Joe Kenda, and he was talking about it, and that's where I came up with the segregation up front, because he had made the comment, if we could segregate this stuff, this was years and years and years ago, right? Decades ago, he was, solving cases. He was a young buck with the Colorado Springs Police Department, and he solved like some crazy number of cases, homicide cases, just very good at his, a very skilled, astute investigator. And he was the one when I first realized how wonderful the logistics are at a landfill. I would have never known. They have some of the best architectural programs, computer programs to make sure nothing is missed. It's amazing how it works. Fascinating. You wouldn't think that landfills could be fascinating, but how they're designed, what they're talking about here, it is very fascinating. So that's how they were able to find Quentin Simon. All they had to do is just keep digging. If they just kept digging in that pile, if he was in there, they were going to find him, and they did. They didn't find him all, but they did find him. And I do believe that, and I do, even though I'm not saying they need to do this for adults, but I think for children, because children are so much smaller, I think when any child goes missing, there should be a segregation of trash immediately. It should be a policy. It should be protocol. In landfills, it shouldn't be that difficult to segregate a section of. They have such a vast area of land that they can move an entire dump site and just have it there and just flag it off, and nobody can touch it until law enforcement decides whether to keep it or release it. And if they keep it, they've got to go through it. If they release it, then it goes through the normal process. No big deal, no harm, no foul. But I truly believe something like that needs to happen, because I think a lot of our children that go missing and we never find them again, I truly believe they're going out in the garbage. It is the easiest way of disposal of a child. And once the child, I don't want to go through the process because that's pretty graphic, and I'm pretty sure I'll be flagged by YouTube. But it's not a good process. I'd rather get the segregation. So we'll just leave it at that. But I do think we need to have some type of protocol in place that we segregate the trash at these landfills when we have missing children. So
it has to be organized in order to facilitate this. The one difficult part that I have always found in any of these things I've ever searched is that you have equipment that runs over the stuff to kind of pack it down, and that creates an absolute nightmare for investigators when they go out there to begin to search.
Well, there's all sorts of issues with a construction site search. I'm curious about what they could.
And it upsets us because this is something that they should be bringing the cadaver dogs out to, period. Okay? If they're out there and there's not one cadaver dog, they're idiots. I don't know how much I can say that. I don't care if it's the FBI. I don't care if it's the sheriff's office. If you guys are out there at the construction dumps and or dumpsters and you do not have a cadaver dog, what the hell are you doing there? Just like, why are you there? You need cadaver dogs, which is one thing we've heard. Chris Nano says, no.
Be looking for. When you hear a search of a dump or a landfill, you immediately think they're looking for a body. That is not necessarily true, Joe Scott.
No, it's not.
Because I keep wondering what they got from Sebastian Rogers. Something was taken out of that landfill, and they never told us what it was. There was stuff taken out of that landfill, and we've never heard any more about it. Where are the dogs? Yep, exactly, Deb. Exactly.
Listen, if somebody has been involved in some kind of nefarious activity, and they have one of these big dumpsters, all right, that you see at construction sites, and they're putting things in there specifically. And look, it could be biological material, something organic that's going to break down. That's one of the problems that you run into with these sites, is because this is an aerobic environment, which means it's oxygenated. And that means that anything that's in there that is organic breaks down very, very quickly, and it compromises evidence. But if there's other things, say for instance, if there's any kind of tools, any bits of wood that may have been associated with something that was involved in a crime, that's going to be there as well. And here's one of the problems that you run into. It's something called co-mingling. So you get evidence that's kind of tied up together, and it can come from other sites, because on the day that a specific grid has stuff dumped from location A and B and C, you're confined to that spot, but that stuff gets commingled, mashed down, and kind of turned around.
It gets compacted. It goes through several stages of compacting before it goes into the earth. And it's to help break it down. All right, guys. So as you guys know, there's your breaking news. We're in the landfills. It looks like they're looking at construction sites. It's starting to look like we're looking at construction workers, construction teams. What did I tell you guys? If we be sleuthing, we need to be opening JLRs or whoever was out there, okay? Dolly was out there, JLR was out there, that John whatever was out there. You've got Dave, you've got 857. All of that footage needs to be gone through. Hopefully that's not my car. All of that footage needs to be gone through. Okay? All of that footage. And I would say the earlier footage, the footage from the first few days, even with the media, all that news media that were sat up there, the morning news, we need to be looking at the footage behind them. I'm telling you, I almost guarantee you, the suspects are in that footage somewhere. I can almost guarantee you I have a probability of 90%. I believe 90% with my whole heart. If we go through the footage, we might find the people that did this to Nancy. And I don't believe it's the later footage. It's the footage weeks later. No, I'm talking about the footage in that first week. If we go through all of that footage in that first week, I'm telling you, they are in there somewhere. because they had to have come back to the scene of this crime. I believe that wholeheartedly. They were at the scene of this crime afterwards. You want to know why I know that? Because they cased the joint. They were there multiple times. I don't believe they were just there January 11th. I believe they were there January 11th. I believe they were there January 24th. I believe they may even have been by there last year in 2025. I don't know what they did. I don't know how they did it. I don't know why they did it. But I do know that criminals, they're too curious. They want to know if they got away with it. They want to hear what is being stated on the ground. They're going to be there just kind of, blending in plain sight. Blending in plain sight. Is it that one guy that had the ring? Remember, now we're looking at multiple people. So the person with the ring on the outside may not have been the person on the inside. And whoever is out there working with him, it's probably not the person that was caught on the camera. It's probably somebody else that was on the inside of that door. Because again, how did that assailant get into that house? How? Let me know, bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I did get a few emails. I did bring them up for our earlier show, but I got off track and I didn't get to go over them. So we will go over those tomorrow morning. Be here. It is going to be Saturday. We usually start Saturday mornings very early, but tomorrow we might start early. We might start a little later. I'm not going over to Laura's. My best friend's got a funeral to attend out of the county, so I will not be seeing her tomorrow. So we are going to be working all day tomorrow covering the case of Nancy Guthrie or any other breaking news. I mean, we've got some breaking news. I called his name Scotty. It's not Scotty, but the kid over in Barcelona, Spain, they did find him. They pulled him out of the water. They believe it's a Riley strain type of situation and an accidental drowning due to intoxication. So we have some resolution there. It doesn't sound like foul play is going to go on or is believed in that particular case. We still haven't given us a good update on the 2 children that were found in the 2 suitcases. And we have some other cases that we were covering previously. Sebastian Roger, Austin Drummond, the quadruple homicide guy from Tennessee. So we have a lot of cases we need to get up to date on. So I'm probably going to give us, we're probably going to take a good half hour or 45 minutes to kind of go over all the breaking news in the morning before we start on our topic of conversation. So if you guys would like to be here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn that subscribe bell on. And if you're on the replay crew, if you would do me a huge favor, there's a hype button. If you scroll over down where you have the comments, if you swipe over, you'll see the option to hype. If you would be so kind to hype this video, I would greatly appreciate it. Please do not leave Betty without people knowing about me, okay? I'm a little brash, a little wild, but we fight for what's right. And if you guys want to be on a winning team, please keep turning back in and tuning back in to the Bullhorn Betty channel. Thank you guys. God bless you. We will see you soon.